going to give you a quick demo of our CTN Network website, ctnnetwork.net. Join our community. It is free. You just type in ctnnetwork.net, and this is the homepage right here. And if you want to create an account, you would just click up here and create new account right here. Sign up with your email, or you can sign up with just clicking on Facebook or Google. So you can sign up with your Facebook account or your Gmail. So I'm already signed up, so I'm going to click in Gmail right here, and it's going to log me in. And as you can see, this is our homepage. Click on creators right here, and this shows you all the CTN family members that are content creators. Everybody is on here. If you want to go to one of their YouTube channels, for example, if you want to go to Crypto Talk Now, just click on channel, and it takes you right over to the YouTube channel for that particular creator. And you click on community. This is our community right here. We do have a forum, and this is a forum where you can post things, you can interact with one another. And there's also a blog right over here that we post our own content on. And if you click on CTN Studios, you can watch our live show and other content creators' live shows right through this CTN Studios. We do have advertisements for some of the content creators. There's the Crypto Smith, there's Waddy, the Crypto Hunter, and we also have live charts for the ISOs right in this box right here. We have a feature where you click on the heart if you want to donate to us. You can donate with Ethereum or Binance, BNB. And also, if you click on this button right here, we're going to have a call-in feature, which is already live. If you want to call us, just click on the green icon, the green phone icon, and click on call now. And during the show, between 9:15 and 10, when we announce it, when Max is on or when I'm on with Max, we will start accepting phone calls, and you guys can be live with the show. If you want to turn your video on, you can come on camera as well. So good stuff there. Now back onto the homepage. If you click on members, you can see all the people that are members here. All these people here, like Chaka just signed up, Gills33, Miguel. All these people here are members of our community, so you guys can sign up and then you can chat with one another. So you can either click over here, message right here. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to welcome him. I'll send him a quick message, and then I can click enter or just a little arrow. If you want to message somebody else, you can click on message, or you can go right over here into members chat and go ahead and message them and create a new chat if you want by clicking this little button right here. Now also, if you scroll down here, you can see some of the past videos that our content creators in our content creator family have created. You can go in here and watch some of the recorded videos. They're scrolling down here. Just choose one to watch. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this brief demo. Make sure you sign up so you can interact and be part of the community when we are not on the live show.
Hey guys, welcome to Crypto Talk Now for Utility Talk Now. It is back. The one, the only, the Crypto Smith is back with his new camera. How you doing tonight, Sean?
We're back, baby. What's up? I'm good, man. I'm good. It was a little bummer that Saturday my camera crapped out on me and had to go pick up an extra one, but missed my live stream, and that kind of sucked because I was looking forward to it. But we're back, better than ever. We're going to be fine.
Heck yeah, it's going to be a great show. So guys, smash that like if you haven't done so already. And you know what? We're just going to go ahead and welcome a few people. Of course, we're going to check out the super chat from Henry Brown. I did see the comment in regards to could we address the whole thing with Algorand and a few other ones? Absolutely. Long before the show, as you said to Sean, let's go ahead and address this. And that is one of the things we will definitely get into tonight. But yeah, let's go ahead and recognize this right here from Henry Brown. Thank you for, the super chat, man, to get things going. That was awesome. He states, here goes some support in case I don't make the live stream tonight. Lol, got a chick. Ooh, okay, coming through. And so it's a Netflix and chill type of vibe. All right. Well, no problem. Thank you again for the $5 super chat. I guess we'll read your next couple comments right after that. He said, P.S. until SEC versus Ripple lawsuit is over, XRP from a business standpoint will not be in the liquidity hub. We did talk about liquidity hub, I believe, the other day. SEC chairman Gary Gensler caught shilling Algorand, now deems it a security. Yeah, ain't that funny how that works?
He must have got overruled or something. I don't know who knows what happened behind the scenes in that one.
Yeah.
He doesn't look good, though. I'll tell you that.
No, not at all. Garrett Philbeck says, hello, please. Yep, we're definitely going to do that. And Garrett, like to welcome you. Consider changing your avatar to something that speaks more about who you are and what you're about. Guys, let's give a warm welcome to Garrett Philbeck.
Welcome, Garrett. Thanks for joining the live stream. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content here. Yeah,
and any other questions or comments you have, whether you're new to crypto or been around for a while, we have a very welcome community here. So we'd love to know about, how you got into crypto, or if you're looking to other projects, obviously, other than just Algorand and some other things. Or maybe you're not even into that. You just want address. So cool stuff. Tim Shea, who says, hey, the crypto commissioner, the mayor of crypto, representing the 589th district of the XRP Army.
Nice. 589.
Yes.
Love the reference.
I always do that. That's like my new thing now. Anyway. But yeah, glad to have you here, Tim. Brittany is also here. She says hello and happy Monday. Thank you for that, Brittany, and your ongoing support. Also want to welcome KK. He says, don't fall for the SEC FUD. Just stay the course. Nice time to pick up a few dips. I mean, that's the way I look at it too. And I know this has nothing to do with this for the most part. I have been paying close attention to Cypherium. I did see it drop down to the twos. I'm not kidding. If it drops below a penny, I'm telling you flat out, it'll be some people look at some meme tokens as their gambling play. Well, yeah, I'm going to have to pick up a decent sized bag of Cypherium if that's the case.
Yeah, that definitely is I'm playing it like a meme coin at this point. It's a gamble.
Yeah.
It's my DGen play. So
yeah, I mean, who would have thought, right? Cypherium, a DGen play?
I know. It's terrible, but you know what? They could still pull off something. There's a use case out there for them, right? They're just going to have to find it and work through it and hopefully get better at communicating what it is they're trying to do and get off the top shelf, trying to push everybody else down.
Right. To get off the top shelf, but not any disrespect to Edward Vincent of Top Shelf Crypto. Shout out to Edward Vincent.
There's room for everybody.
That's right. And go give us, make sure you subscribe to Edward Vincent of Top Shelf Crypto. We're at Rumble, killing over on Rumble. KK says, hello, Larry. Miss seeing you.
What's that?
Unless my eyes are failing me. You are not Larry.
Hello, Larry. Miss seeing you. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Larry's much better looking than I am. I'll take it.
All right. I think maybe Larry was in the comments or something earlier. Anyway, thank you, KK. This is Sean. I think you know that, though.
Yeah.
Hope you can get back on again. Yeah, I'm just busting your chops, KK. Thank you. He said hello to Max, the crypto professor. Everybody's welcoming each other. Good stuff. We'll try to fly through this a little bit more quicker. About 9.5 minutes to welcome people. Salamander, welcome again. I came out with a couple of videos today. So basically, Jasmine, QNT. I want to address this real quick. So I don't know where people are getting this info, right? So somebody was like, yeah, man, I heard the QNT, they broke ties with Overledger. And then another person said it. And then another person said it. I'm like, who is giving you this information? That's like Microsoft doing away with Windows. That's not happening,
Yeah, that doesn't even seem possible at this point.
I don't know. That was in the comments for today's, at least two or three of them. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I want to welcome Coochie Boy, River. Glad to see you guys. Rain, you as well. Hello to you. Sean, he says, welcome back.
Hey, thanks, Rain. I appreciate that. Glad to be back. Feels like it's been forever. Like we talked about before, man, you get out of this game for a week. I was out really doing, real life work stuff for a week. And I feel like like I have no idea what's going on in the crypto space right now. I'm so far behind.
Well, as me and Reagan would say, fat juicers unite. We will
I appreciate
update you.
that.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. But good to see you, Ryan, and you hope you will stay alive for tonight for 2 hours. Yeah, I mean, that's what ends up happening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the one, the only, and I know I got complaints from it from this a couple guys are like, man, it's too loud when you do that. Well, guess what? Too bad. Boomer effing Sooner. He's back. Welcome back, Boomer effing Sooner.
Mr. Effin Sooner. Good to see you.
Yep. Good stuff. We're also, let's see, going further down. I want to welcome Mr. Brian Dowie, who, by the way, please remind me, just in case I skip over his comments, we need to read as many comments from Brian Dowie as we possibly can. Yes. All right.
Mr. Dowie.
Mr. Dowie.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're going to get to every single one of your comments.
That's right. And another one that we cannot skip is this guy, right? Wonderful gentleman. Glad to see you, Mr. XXI Gaming. Active in the morning, active whenever the heck he is active, right? But good to see you, XXI.
XXI, yeah, great.
Mike, I believe you're the one who said that. If not, it's another person in the comments on Overledger. So, Mike, no, man, no. Overledger to separate itself from QNT? No, man. I don't know who told you that.
I just had to do a quick search just to see, and I don't see anything at all about that information.
Yeah, so maybe fudders are just coming up with fake accounts or fake, QNT accounts or fake quant network accounts, posing as Gilbert Verdian. They're like, yeah, man, Overledger is done. We're going with an Apple partnership. That wouldn't make any sense either. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Coochie Boy says if it deletes 2 zeros and one. Oh, you guys must be talking about something else. My bad. All right. Let's go further down. I want to welcome Mr. Selmo Fudd. He says, what up, fellas? Good to see you, Selmo.
Selmo?
Selmo, I had to ask, how many Cheez-Its are you into now? And how many of those of the tuna did you place on it? Was it 10? Was it 20? Was it 100? All right.
He does the tuna with the Cheez-Its, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
I have a friend that does that too, but
I can kind of see that.
So, yeah. Actually, he does it with the cheese nips. He claims that cheese nips are better than Cheez-Its. I'm like, okay. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I agree with that one.
Yeah, I don't agree with that one either. I mean, it's anyway. Open Mind's back. Welcome back, Open Mind, and we're gonna kick it down a few more. I want to welcome, of course, Centrifuge is in the house. CTN, ICTN fan from Stump Rider. Good to see you.
Hello,
God. Oh no.
Oh, the one and only Klaus Schwab. You say it.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
I like the way you say it better.
Hello, guten Tag, Commandant Klaus Schwab. Schwab, he says, UMU token will be the only crypto you may use and will be happy.
With nothing. Yes.
Dunka. Guten Tag, back to you.
UMU, yeah, that's the unicorn. I know what they're talking about. I got to dig into that one a little bit further. I know Rosie Rios was talking about it as well. So
right,
she is. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
What's going to happen is Klaus Schwab is going to meet up with this lady at some point, Caroline, for a few dips.
I thought you were talking about Tim Shea.
Oh, jeez, I don't know. All right, so GF Burke is in the house. Welcome, GF Burke. I did send a message back to Mr. Tim Shea. Sorry about the delay on that. I don't know why you and I can't message each other. It doesn't make sense to me. I have shown you screenshots. Is it people say screenshots or it didn't happen?
I have a personal message for Mr. Burke.
Sure.
He made me an NFT coin, a metallic NFT coin with my logo on it. It is super cool. I'll have to bring it up here sometime and show you. But I just want to say thank you, sir, for that. That is the first time anybody's ever sent me anything like that. I really do appreciate it.
That's awesome. And he apparently made something awesome for us. And, he can't communicate with me or something. I don't know. So,
yeah, he said he was going to hook you guys up with something too. And I'm anxious to see it.
So he said he preferred, or the message of the relay was he preferred MetaMask. And then I do have a MetaMask wallet for ETH. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just send it to Tim and go from there. But thank you for Mr. Tim Shea actually is the liaison or representing the 589th district of the XRP Army. Anyway, Let's read this. Salmar says Apple launched a high yield savings account for its Apple Card customers on Monday as it grows its financial product offerings. That's interesting. We'll read a
Didn't
couple
Apple
more.
and JP Morgan just start to form a partnership? Was it JP? No, it was I think it was a different, very, very high level financial institution and Apple are joining forces. I'll have to look that up.
I'll have to look at that too.
Keep going. I'll look it up.
No, that's right. Magic Power says, hello, guten Tag, Liechtenstein Exchange. Adjust me in the house. Yes, I got to do it again. All right, Elon Musk. We all know who he is by this time. I mean, if you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. I also have another announcement to make. I did spend a good quality amount of time chopping up that whole thing of sneakers, and it got banned from YouTube quicker than I could say Elon Musk. All right. Yeah, YouTube wasn't having it. I couldn't even like demonetize it and like, okay, I'll show it that way. Nope. They're like, this is property of Universal. You cannot show this. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm gonna try a different thing on Twitter and see if somehow I can get it on Twitter and chop it up in like 6 different parts. And let people know it was banned on YouTube. But I'm gonna try one last time. If it still doesn't work, then I guess I'll just send people like a link to where they can download and watch it. You know, on Twitter. That's all I can do because I just don't want it. I don't want the whole thing that we did to be a big waste. I know you're probably not caught up on it, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna have to go back and figure that one out.
You're gonna have to put it on your tinfoil hat though, for sure.
Oh, okay, it's one of those.
It's one of those.
Yeah. Well, those things. Yeah, that happens.
All right, we're just gonna welcome a couple more people. Heath Overledgerly, greetings for La Familia. Yes, welcome. And Stargazer, obviously in the house. Dingy's here. Thank you very much. Mr. Klaus Schwartz. Universal Monetary Unit will be the only ISO 222.
Well,
All
it's
right.
a little late for that.
Coming from you, Mr. Klaus Schwab, I was thinking that you would have invented, your own ISO standard called ISO 299. All right. All right, Olamide Williams. He says, hello, Tim and folks. Glad to have you here. Robert Sims says, hello, or sup, crypto lovers. Again, I thank you for being here. Consider changing your avatar. Something speaks more about who you are and what you're about.
What's up, Robert?
And Mark William, welcome back from the UK, I think. Oh, Secret Truth. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Cars and Crypto. Sup, gang. Thank you for being here. And let's see here. Oh, here is an update.
What's better than cars and crypto? I can't think of anything better than cars and crypto. I mean, cars, cheeseburgers, and crypto, I guess, would be
hot chicks and crypto.
Yeah, I mean, I'm married, but yeah, it's okay. Yeah, for most everybody, I imagine that's probably a pretty good thing.
All right. All right. Let's see where we're at. Big Watch Dude says, "Yo, what's up, Max and Iceberg Smith, ACTM fam." All right.
Iceberg.
All right. So
thanks, Big Watch Dude. Appreciate it.
We're not going to be able to get into welcoming everybody. We tried. Vincent Stewart, hello, Max. It's easy to store Jasmine on the Ledger Nano S. Yeah, I haven't seen anybody have any problems with that, actually. I think we reported that a while back. What was the other one we were showing earlier? Decent, I think, also. I don't think there's any problems with that either. But yeah, welcome. Let's go ahead and kick it into our lineup because we are about 20 minutes in without getting into anything. So unless we want a 3-hour long show, which I'm sure Iceberg Smith don't want that, let's go ahead and kick it into our lineup. So let's address some of the first things that we saw for the day, and it is in regards to this whole thing with the SEC, bad stuff, right? So here's the whole thing in regards to Algorand. So I saw this earlier today, and I think I also saw a little bit last night. But this comes straight from Decrypt. This was the most recent article, so I thought I'd bring it to you guys. SEC labels Algorand and 5 other tokens as securities in Bittrex lawsuit. Yes, one of those things. On top of it says legal expert said the coin's inclusion resembles another SEC lawsuit brought against a former Coinbase employee. Some of you guys brought up the whole thing of this contradicts everything of Gary Gensler because, I guess some of the things that he mentioned in the past for Algorand. But anyway, yeah, look at this. The SEC categorized 6 cryptocurrencies part of this particular lawsuit against crypto exchange Bittrex on Monday. I believe Bittrex is going away or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Highlighting them as potential pivotal assets in an enforcement against the Seattle-based firm. On top of that, there's this right here. In order for that to be true in regards to all the things that they were mentioned above, I actually skipped that. Sorry about that. The SEC needs to establish that at least one of the tokens made available by Bittrex is indeed a security. But again, if they're going to go after Algorand out of this bunch, that, in my opinion, is Gary Gensler backpedaling. We'll get a little bit more in regards to that. And that is this statement right here. And though SEC Chairman Gary Gensler has claimed the label applies to everything but Bitcoin, the agency has honed in on 6 specific coins in its latest action. So it's not just Algorand. You have OMG Network, you have Dash, you have Monolith, Naga, and Real Estate Protocol. And now, funny how that is in regards to this one, right? So, if you're a person that follows like some of the coverage that we have here about Relio, right? Rio, they have, oh my gosh, like heavy ties to Wall Street. And it's kind of funny how they pick and choose what, real estate networks to go after, but you're not going to go after Relio. But again, but anyway, yeah, the agency says there will likely be more, and just says that, this is just a non-exhaustive list. Of course, there's a lot of things also mentioned here. Here's Gensler, I believe. This guy named Mike Dudas says Silvio Macaulay's Algorand. He's a Turing Award winner at MIT. I work with. Silvio got a great technology. It has performance. You could create Uber on top of it. And this is promoted by who other than Mr. Gary Gensler. So we're going to watch this real quick. And then, if anything, we definitely want to get Sean's take on it and what you've gathered from this, from our prep from earlier, and of course from you guys in the audience. So we're definitely addressing it. Here it is. Let's go ahead and play this. Smash it like if you haven't done so already. Thank you for joining us here for Utility Talk Now.
Governance is tough. You could create Uber or Lyft on top of a blockchain technology today. Well, maybe in 5 years you could. It would have the performance. Silvio Macaulay's Algorand, who's a Turing Award winner at MIT that I work with. Silvio's got a great technology that has performance. You could create Uber on top of it. The question is then who would update the software?
Unbelievable, Ant.
Yeah, what's funny is that reminds me of the video of him calling XRP a commodity when he was teaching at MIT as well, right? So it's the same thing. So for some reason he thought it was great back then, and one of two things is going on. Either he got overruled, they sat down to vote and he got overruled, or he was just somebody who didn't, and maybe he abstained, maybe he didn't vote, right? But everybody else voted to put those on the list. Or this is him covering himself. So, right. So in my opinion, this is my opinion. My opinion is that he's going to have to go after things that he was friendly with before to make it appear like he's not just targeting certain, competitors of projects that he likes. And now, if you think about it, so Bittrex, all they have to do is settle. Right. So then the SEC doesn't have to prove that any of these are actually securities, because the SEC now, in order to really get a security claim on them, they have to go to court and have a judge say it's a security. So in order to get a kind of a default or de facto ruling without the court is to have a settlement. And Bittrex basically say, yeah, sorry, we'll pay the fine for selling these securities. And so now they have a de facto claim as being a security without having to prove anything. So I think that's kind of where they're trying to go, which is why we knew they were going to go after the exchanges. And of course, they have to list which tokens they think are securities in order to go after the exchanges.
Yeah, but it's just too much, picking and choosing according to your, or I should say their narrative of what is and what isn't. I mean,
remember. So here's the question I would have for him. If he was sitting in front of me after I'd punch him in the throat, I would say, hey, why can't you explain to me how come every single token that's listed on Bittrex is not in this filing? Because you're saying every token, every coin out there is a security except for Bitcoin. Why are you not suing all of them? Or why are you not claiming that all of them are in this legal filing? Like that's a question. That's a legitimate question. Why are you just picking through? Because he's going to pick 6 different ones on Coinbase, and then maybe 10 on Binance, and you know what I mean. They're just going to continue to kind of pick through them. And if they can get settlements without actually having to go to court to prove that these are securities and get a judge to agree with them, or a jury, or the Supreme Court, then they get these small wins. And then they can say, see, all of these exchanges are now, they're all selling securities, and they're admitting it. So, and that's it. That's all you need.
Here's the thing I was thinking about a while back. I was thinking that it was just a matter of time, to be honest, that I guess you could say the SEC would go after Algorand. So originally, back in when I was just like mainly focused on, I guess you could say like Shiba Inu and stuff like that, like early 2021, my buddy, who may be very well watching this as we speak, right? Because he doesn't really comment, but he watches. So he's like all gung ho Algorand, right? I believe he has his algo on Kraken, and he's telling me, he's like, yeah, man, you can earn some pretty nice staking rewards, yada yada. But I could have sworn somebody said that algo paid derivatives, and technically by definition, right, derivatives is a security with a price that's dependent upon or derived from one or more underlying assets, right? But think about what it mentions, right? A security. So why didn't this happen a long time ago? If that's the case, why now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they're going to have, and I would have to go back and look to see it, all of these different, because there's a bunch, right? There's Cosmos that was paying a ton on Coinbase, right? I got a buddy, actually one of the very few people I know that has crypto, has a whole bunch of Cosmos, and he forgot about it, and he looked one day, he's like, oh my god, like I've been earning all this Cosmos all this time. Things like that are going to be labeled securities, right? If they can get away with it, if they can prove it, but they still have to go to court to prove it, right? They can't just state, oh, this is security, and then that's automatically that's the designation. I mean, they can, and then have that project not fight it, then they're screwed, right? Then now you're a security.
Well, here's the thing, right? So, like, again, back to what I was saying, if you have a project that blatantly pays apparently derivatives, right, Algorand, then again, it's like, why don't you just blanket everything that pays out some form of derivatives on a staking platform? And that is the proof, hey, join our exchange, you can earn this yield. You get what I'm saying? I mean, they already went after Kraken, don't get me wrong, but
I agree with you 100%. But here's the truth that nobody wants to admit in the crypto space. Gary Gensler is likely correct in that there is a lot of these that are technically securities. Everything in the DeFi space is a security, right? Every project that had a pre-sale, an ICO, they used all that money to build out their project, with investors who knew that they were expecting, profits at the end of the day. Those are securities. I mean, that's the definition of it, right? So, I mean, they don't have to reach very far, but they want to go after these big guys to see if they can get those designations for those. And then they can claim pretty much, see, look, if these guys are doing it, everybody's doing it. The DeFi space, they're obvious securities. They're all paying dividends. They're all paying reflections. They're paying, whatever it is they're paying, what it depends on the day of the week. That is just the sad truth. So to be decentralized, I mean, everybody wants this decentralized utopia where they're far away from the long-reaching arms of the SEC or the U.S. government or any government. Unfortunately, we're never going to be there. That place doesn't exist, right? They don't have to allow any of these platforms inside the country. They can cut them off, or they can say, hey, why don't you just come in and sit down and register with the SEC as security, and you can just continue to do business. The only problem is a lot of the the medium to small projects can't afford that, because the cost of the compliance is going to crush them, right? You have to have lawyers on staff in order to provide these monthly updates, the memos, follow the rules. Anytime you want to buy and sell something, you have to let the SEC know. If you want to sell any of your product, or not your product, but any of your, just like your shares for a company, you want to sell your tokens, you have to let them know every time you want to do that. And if they have a problem with it, they say, no, we don't want you to sell to this person. We're going to stop you from doing that. The compliance will kill the projects, and they know that. They don't care, right? That's why it was so important that Ripple fought the SEC, right? Because this is the first time, really. I mean, Library tried to fight them, but they had very few funds and no support in the crypto community. Ripple is doing everybody a favor by fighting. Now, the outcome may not be that great for all in crypto, but somebody needed to stand up and say, I don't care what, you're not going to just bully us around, and we're not just going to take a settlement because you guys want it. I got billions of dollars in my back pocket. I'm going to spend it.
Somebody mentioned a while back that, this whole thing with Ripple and going against the SEC is like David versus Goliath. I was like, no, it's not. It's more like Goliath going up against Goliath. Yeah.
Yeah, and who knows? I'd love to have been in a room where they all sat around and discussed, like, hey, should we go after this company? This company is not small, right? This company has a ton of money and a lot of support around the world. Like, is this a smart idea? And maybe they didn't care about winning. They just wanted to hold them up. Let's just drag this out for a few years and let whatever their preferred Ethereum project can catch up. But who knows what they were talking about? It's all speculation at this point. But
yeah, a lot of things speculated,
but none of it's good.
Speculative now. Yeah. We're gonna kick in a few more comments. Glad you guys are welcome. Mr. Crypto Holmes 777, welcome. Glad to have you here. Saw a few more people here. I'm glad that Big Watch Dude recognizes that he is part of that district. Anyway. All right, so let's see here. Okay, yeah. We were talking about that earlier. Let's go further down. KK says, Justin, I lowered the price of Jasmine so you can load your bags. No limit, no coupon needed. And I want to show you guys this real quick, just in case you think, like, what is Max talking about in regards to the whole thing with Quant? It literally happened again. I'm going to show you guys this just real quick. So watch this. There it is right here. And look at this. Let me pull this up. Do you see that on my screen?
Yep.
Look at that. There's a big short going on for Quant. They're spreading that their partnership with Oracle is no longer there. Well, okay, that's different.
Yeah, Oracle,
right?
That's a whole different story.
That's a whole different story. I'll have to confirm that. I don't think that's the case at all, because, I just don't. But what was this other one here? Didn't Quant and Overledger Network part ways? No, God, no. And then this other guy up here, I believe you're here, and there's nothing wrong with this, Mike, but Quant is no longer on the Overledger Network. Can somebody, and then everybody was like, that's nonsense, huh? Like this guy, it's like saying my shadow no longer follows me. Anyway. Even you, Heath, Overledgerly, you even said, who is your source for the allegation?
Yeah, I don't see anything in the news at all about Quant and Overledger.
Yeah, I just thought I'd bring it to you guys' attention because it just keeps popping up. I'm like, why am I keep getting more notifications about this? So I am gonna look into it. That's like what, the fourth or fifth person that says something about that. Anyway, Olamide Adams says Apple and Goldman Sachs. You guys are talking about it. All right, let's see if we go further down. Who else we got up in here? Talking about Shea Butter and stuff. What is this? Tim Shea also represents Shea Butter and Caroline's Duck Butter. He's under an NDA, so he can't say much. Wow. That's quite the visualization, huh, Mr. Iceberg Smith?
Yeah, Shea Butter, Caroline Duck Butter. Yeah, I always love hearing about that.
Yeah, I knew this was something like, okay, so Brian Dowie, I knew it was somebody, stating that earlier. Dingy, economy slowing down, Jasmine going down by 30%. So somebody asked me earlier, like, what's going on with Jasmine? It went up to the 7s and now, it went down. My thing is this: swing traders, this is the most significant highs it's been in a while. It is bound to happen. People are going to take some profits. There is people swing trade it. I'm not looking to swing trade this. I think there's probably some better ones out there to technically swing trade, but we'll see what kind of new support lines we get. But to me, that was to be expected once it reached, into the 7s. It hasn't reached the 7s in, I don't know, probably over a year or something like that.
Yeah. Why the thought it's going to go down by 30%? What's the reasoning? That doesn't seem likely at this point.
Yeah. All right. Let's go read a couple more comments, see where we're at. Cars and Crypto says, thanks, fam. I appreciate cars and cryptos, and both are fun and troublesome. Very good point. Vincent Stewart, Brian Dowie, appreciate that. We hope to see more of you, Vincent Stewart. All right, maybe this could be for you. What's your opinion on the SEC saying Algorand and Dash are securities? I mean, we kind of talked about that, but what about Dash, Mr. Crypto Smith?
You know what? I don't know a ton about Dash. I know it's been around for a very long time. Since I've been in crypto. I don't know a lot about Dash or how it started, really. And a lot of these things come from the way they were, these projects were born, right? Did they have an ICO? Did they get a bunch of, rich people together? Did they get private money? Did they have anything built on their own before they got money in? Or did they use all the money that they got on their pre-sale or ICO in order to build out, their company? And if that's the case, unfortunately, that's the beginning of becoming a security. Right. And then you have to have some sort of expectation of profit. And then there's supposed to be some sort of investment contract there, either, real or implied, that basically everybody's going to work together in order to grow the business and to grow your investment. So you have to have all of those things in order to be called security. So that's why usually if you have the money, you would take it to court, because the SEC has a high burden of proof to prove that all of those things did exist. Right. And even in the XRP versus Ripple versus SEC, the SEC never actually came out with any evidence of any sales by Ripple and then claimed that those were illegal securities. Like, there's nothing. They did none of that. So this is why I think a lot of experts think this is, it's going to end up kind of badly for the SEC.
Well, that's fine with me. I mean, we're all rooting for that. I want to point this out. So, I went to the CMC listing for Dash just for the heck of it. I didn't, when you click on more info, you can see if any particular project has gotten an ICO at one point, initial coin offering. There's some projects like, for instance, Clearpool that have IDOs, initial DAO offering. I didn't see that, but the point is this in regards to Dash. All right, they've been around for the longest time. I mean, since 2014. And that's, again, another point I'm trying to make. And I'm sure you feel the same way, Sean. And that is, okay, you're waiting literally almost 9 years later, basically. Yeah, we're almost at the 9-year mark. So you're waiting 9 years later, almost a decade later, to finally go after these guys.
Yeah, and that's the kind of one of those arguments that Ripple's making, and all these other companies are going to make the same thing. So you knew, like for Gary Gensler, let's say, so you guys knew if he voted for Algorand to be sued, you knowingly promoted them, openly promoted them at a school, right? And so you knew it was a security back then, and you didn't do anything about it, and you've been allegedly protecting investors this whole time. So yeah, I mean, obviously he wasn't with the SEC back then. But once you're with the SEC and you say, hey, I have a whole list of projects in the crypto space that I think are securities, we need to start cracking down on these guys, getting them to come into compliance. But none of that's happened. All of that is just within the last year.
Yeah, no kidding. Just for the heck of it, all-time highs for this was back in 20. Whoa. Am I blinking?
That's a big number. That is a big number.
Wow.
And was that 2017. See, and I got into crypto probably, I think, late 2016 or early 2017. So I was there. I was watching that thing go, watching all of it.
Do you remember crazy. Dash?
I don't remember Dash specifically, but it was, if you look at a lot of coins and tokens around that time space, you're going to find the same thing.
My God, look at this right here, Sean. The guy that came in at like roughly 268 back in 2014.
Yeah, up to $1,200, man. If you held it, if you were, the problem is that most people are selling before long before it gets to there. But
yeah,
if you did, then you were doing well.
Whoever diamond handed this, right?
The problem is that whoever diamond handed that thing probably diamond handed it all the way down, because that's what diamond hands tend to do. They think, oh, 1,200, it can hit 1,500 easy, and then the next day it's gone.
Yeah, that's true. That's why
I say don't diamond hand this stuff.
Well, diamond hand, take your
profits along the way. Yeah, get yourself a moon bag, at the very end, but make sure you take your profits. Not financial advice.
Yeah, but my God, man.
Or financial advice, whatever.
Like, I'm all thinking about it. I'm like, my God, what happened?
Yeah. Well, you look at those people that got into Doge or Shiba. Like Shiba's a great example, right? When it was a decimal point and some zeros, and a lot of zeros. You could have gone in when it's 10, 11 zeros. There are people who could have
10,
easily
10
been
max. We did confirm that 10 max.
So you could have easily been a billionaire. If had you got in early and held on and sold at the right time.
But that's the way it is with anything, man.
But most people don't. They don't do that.
Have you seen Better Call Saul, the spinoff of Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I
all
love
right.
that show.
So did you finish it? I don't want to spoil it for you or anybody.
I think I did, but this was a while ago.
All right, so there's a specific scene where Saul Goodman is basically telling Mike Ehrmantraut, he's like, man, I wish I could go back in time. I would have bought some Berkshire Hathaway, back in 1962 or 3 or something like that, 64, I don't know. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's always going to be a coulda, woulda, shoulda, man, with anything.
Right. Right. If I could have convinced my parents to invest in, what was the J.C. Penney, way early in the day, and it went up, and obviously it's gone now. But all of the big boys, Amazon back in the day when it was just selling books.
I remember that.
And wasn't worth
all
squat.
Too well. I remember that all too well, man.
Yeah.
Web 1 days. All right, let's go ahead and stop the screen on this. Let's read a few more comments. I want to welcome Annie Rock. He says, hey guys, hello back to you. This is at 6:19, so I guess we're not too far back. And with that said, Sean, no Bud Light for you, and no Milwaukee's Best for you either.
Why not?
Milwaukee's Best, man.
Oh, yeah.
People like cake parties or just we're on a low budget
I'll tell you,
parties.
If you want to we're not going to get political, but I just want to make a comment about this real quick. So I have a coworker. Somebody gave him some Bud Light, right? But he's a heavy Bud drinker, regular Bud. And he's like, I'm going to throw this in the trash. I'm like, why would you throw away perfectly good beer? Like, somebody paid for it already. You don't have, it's not like you're supporting them. So I ended up taking the Bud Light home because I'm like, it's free beer, right? I'm not going to throw it in the trash. It's stupid. So then I was looking on TikTok earlier today, and there's a guy on there who basically laid out the case because somebody's like, oh, I'm just going to go drink Coors Light now. And then, all these other beers. And of course, a lot of people don't realize that Anheuser-Busch literally has like 150 different brands. They own almost all of it. So, most of the time you're drinking the beer that Anheuser-Busch is making, but Coors Light is not. But Coors Light also had their gay pride thing going on. The guy was driving a Chevy truck. Chevy's, had their, inclusion events and everything. So every company's done it. So, why?
Oh yeah, where's the end? I agree totally. Where's the end? It doesn't end. And the same could be applied to like musical artists back in the day.
Everything.
I remember somebody said to me, why do you want to listen to Tupac? He did this, that, and this. I'm like, okay, there's an actor you like. I'm pretty sure this actor might have be out in left field or did something to offend you or whatever. I think I made an example of like Tom Cruise with like Scientology or something.
Yeah, I don't approve. I don't know. I don't like what he's doing. I don't agree with what he's doing out there. But you know what? I kind of like his movies.
Yeah, it's like
so I'm going to watch him.
I'm going to stop watching Top Gun or some Mission Impossible because he's the Scientology. He's kind of a nut. No.
Yeah, no. I agree. Yeah, right. I'm going to listen to Tupac because I like his music.
Yeah, that's bottom line. So
yeah.
Or was it recently Public Enemy? They have an anti-Trump thing. And it's just like, I'm still going to listen to Public Enemy. And it's just, anyway.
Yeah, if you use that excuse to the nth degree, like you're literally never going to watch any movies, any TV shows, listen to any music, drive any cars, drink any beers,
eat any food.
Eat any food. You're not going to do anything because you're going to be offended by something somebody did that's related to that business.
Yeah, like my buddy was telling me about Nestle. Like apparently they messed with some water supply. It's just like, am I supposed to just like not have any chocolate milk anymore or something? I don't know. Anyway. All right. Vincent says, thanks, Max. You're very welcome. Boomer F and Sooner says, stop welcoming folks and get to Brian's comments. We all lose when you skip his comments, Max.
It's a real talk right there, F and Sooner. Real talk.
I like how you refer to him as F and Sooner. That's awesome. He probably was like, give me a virtual dab, right? He's like on the side couch. He's taking a picture of this. He's got his dog. He's on the side couch. He watches. He chills back. And you just refer to him as F and Sooner.
F and Sooner.
All right, let's go further down. You guys are all talking about Vaseline. My God. All right. So Dingy says, Algo lawsuit, that's bullish. They attack the ones that have big potential and will get clearance. And how about this? For a lot of us who weren't able to take advantage of Algo below 20 cents, maybe you're going to get a second shot soon. All right. The market doesn't reflect that. Let me just share that real quick. But I think it's soon going to happen. So here's
Yeah.
what's going on with Algo. If I could just get that up right. There we go. So here it is, Algorand. Obviously, we're probably going to go below 20 cents. And, for a lot of people, that's an opportunity, what I mean? And it may very well tank even further. Who knows? Maybe down to 15 cents or something. I don't know. I mean, is this going to be a back the truck up moment, Sean? I don't know.
It'll bounce back. I mean, Algorand's a solid company, so they're going to be just fine. And they may be one of those that can fight. They probably have the pockets where they can fight. There's to maybe get some help from Ripple as well. I mean, would be really nice to see, and this goes against my better judgment, right? Is working together. Ripple got absolutely no help, like zero help, and actually a lot of shade, was thrown on them for the first 2 years of this lawsuit. And then at the very end, a couple of people started coming in, and writing some amicus briefs, on their behalf, a little bit, right? And so they got a little bit of help at the end. If Ethereum's going to get hammered and Algorand, right, it would my own personality says screw those guys, right? They didn't help, don't offer any help. But that's to be a better part of crypto, we want them all working together because they're all good projects.
We do.
I think they're all going to be around, and so hopefully they can find a way to help each other out in this situation.
Yeah, very, very true. This whole talk about, like, for instance, Charles Hoskinson of Cardano, it wouldn't surprise me any if in the future, some people are like, Ripple, man, don't be helping them out and so on, and they may very well be the next target of the SEC, and you never know. I wouldn't be surprised that, whereas Garlinghouse or whoever from Ripple says, you know what, we're actually going to go help these guys out, even though they didn't technically have our back, because they realize for the greater cause, that's a good thing.
Hoskinson was the worst. He was the worst of them. I gave up my algo, or not my algo, my ADA a long time ago, right before all this nonsense happened. But that was one good reason why I'm not going to buy any more ADA until Hoskinson changes his attitude. Yeah,
I still hold a lot of it, but I overpaid.
I made money on it, so I was okay getting out of it at the time. I did pretty good. So I just haven't had a chance to go back to it, and everything seems to be getting pushed out, for them and their utilities coming out. So I figured there's still time for ADA.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you got to hold a very, very long time.
Yeah.
I want to read this. It's from John Francis. Welcome back. He says Gensler is it's totally anti-freedom. I would agree with that.
We got to remember Gensler
is a sellout too.
Yeah, but he has an agenda, and he's part of the Wall Street, bankers, and he wants to make sure he holds up crypto long enough to and make some directives and help that policy flow towards Wall Street, so that the big banks, the JP Morgans, can get their lion's share of the crypto space, right? And they can be the custodians, and then they can have all the rules, and then push out all the other players. And that's where you're going to end up buying and holding your crypto is these major, Bank of America and JP Morgans.
Well, my thing also is, this, what is it? This whole thing, right? It's like, what was the name of the other company that was real estate related? Oh yeah. So they go again, like I was mentioning earlier, they go after Real Estate Protocol, which is IHT. They go after them, but they don't go after Relio, right? Not that I want them to go after Relio. But again, they're not going to go after Relio because of all the Wall Street ties. They are heavily tied into Wall Street. Literally, we even had a video clip where these guys are literally at, was it ringing the opening bell, right? At the New York Stock Exchange, like maybe a year or so ago, something like that. They're not going to go after them. Picking and choosing is what they do. And anyway, okay, let's see where we're at in the comments a little bit more. Salamander says, I'm selling my Bud Light case, free shipping. God. Din G says, you never licked a beer.
I'm going to say
the
that's
40% of drinks. I know.
Yeah.
I kind of like how he said it right there.
After 6 or 7 beers, I start to lick the beer. I'll be honest.
That's funny. You guys all got the emojis going on, some funny stuff. Dude looks like a Muppet.
Yeah.
Burke says, these freaks know what's coming. They FUD to get better entries. That's a good point. Salamander, Gensler reminds him of Mr. Burns from The Simpsons.
He is Mr. Burns. Excellent.
You know what? I never realized that.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. He does
Dude,
look
look
like
it
Mr.
up.
Burns.
Yeah, look it up. Just do up Mr. Burns, Gary Gensler. If you Google that, you will get some fantastic pictures.
Do that. Pull that up. Oh my goodness. Is there a video on this? There's a video on it. Oh my God, there's a petition. Now I gotta share this. This is cool stuff. Hold on. This isn't planned. You guys gotta see this. There's a petition to have Mr. Burns play Gary Gensler in the MOAS movie. The guy had a video. I guess it's been taken down. Never mind. Wow, that's funny how that worked out. Anyway, Gary Gensler on Twitter. I thought I had something in regards to that, but yeah, they took the video down. So, all right, we're going to read a few more comments, and then we're going to kick into a little bit more particular outline. Blackwood says he had a price, and Jay Clayton found it. Trader, yep. Benedict, he's the Benedict Arnold of crypto, is Gary Gensler. All right, let's go to M. Evans. I love Crypto Smith after the punch him in the throat comment. Well, then, you know what? How about this? Let's take a moment for station identification. And you know what? Go on over to the one and only ctnnetwork.net. And it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And you can go to where it says creators. He is featured right here along with quite a few other people. Here he is, the Crypto Smith. And on YouTube, he's up to 1.92K followers. Also, you know, I don't mention this often. I should do this more. He has a Twitter. You can follow him on Twitter as well, right? And he is the Crypto Smith. You can search them up that way. You just search, you know, at Sean Crypto Smith. Help him get up to 1,000 on that particular one. But on YouTube, of course, he's, you know, featured with us and so on. I think I'm on the wrong page on this one, but anyway, Crypto Smith, go. And yeah, I mean, it'd be really cool if he at least take up the 1.93K. Who knows? You want to just talk briefly, just some of the recent stuff you're trying to get back into? I know you've been away for like a week or so.
Yeah, I haven't done too many videos in the last couple of weeks, but really, and actually, I'm probably going to pare down my channel a little bit on the expansive, you know, different topics I talk about. I do have a second. Let's see. I have a second sponsor now for my channel, which is Metapolitans. It's another metaverse project, which is pretty cool. It's coming along. I've already been in their beta version of the metaverse. More of a social gaming type of a platform. So nothing really, not any competition to MMAI. Two totally different projects. But then, you know, of course, XRP, I need to focus on some more XRP content because that's really why I started the channel. And then I think I'm going to also start a little content on gold and silver as far as, you know, stacking, you know, silver and what it's good for and the whole history of it and all that kind of stuff. Because I find it very fascinating. I think it does apply a little bit to, you know, crypto and, you know, and then the reasons why we're in crypto. So there's that. So look forward to, you know, I just picked up a couple $100 of silver today on my way home, just for funsies. But yeah, that's it. That's what I'm doing. Hopefully I'll get to 2,000 subscribers here in the next, you know, week or so. That'd be super cool.
Heck yeah, man. Right on.
But you and your channel obviously have been a big part of that. And then also, I know we had our, we did our video reviews of Cypress Domanicore, right? Cypress, I forget, Cypress X Trading.
Right.
So he's coming up. We're collaborating on a video now, and we may do a regular type, you know, some every couple of weeks or something on his channel as well. So I think that'll be fun.
That's super cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a super knowledgeable guy. Like he really does this full time. You know, he does trading and he teaches trading, and he's into crypto and stuff. So he's got a lot of time to do research. So he's a super smart dude. That's
awesome, man. Glad to hear that you collaborated with him. All All right. So if anything, let's kick it back into what we actually have tonight. Do you have anything that you wanted to present in regards to what we were talking about earlier?
Well, we got the U.S. congressman introduces legislation. I don't know if you want to go through that real quick.
I do have that. Excuse me. Got an ice cube in my mouth. Anyway.
That's all right.
Yeah, I do have that. Let me share that earlier today. So let's jump into that.
Yeah, let's talk about that and what the implications might be.
Yeah. Just a second. Here it is. Warren Davison. So you want to go over this for just a brief bit?
Go for it.
All right. So Warren Davison, as we know, is a former Army Ranger. He's serving Ohio's 8th District in Congress, working towards a government small enough to fit within the Constitution. A lot of people feel as though he's a great proponent, or the opposite of apparently what Gensler is, right? Supposedly. So he says, "Yep, to correct a long series of abuses, I am introducing legislation that removes the chairman of the SEC, who's basically Gary Gensler." And then there's this right here, and it says, rather today's commission aggressively expands into, or I should say, its regulatory reach to solve problems that do not exist. Today's commission treats its basic approach to exchange regulation as something that must not, indeed cannot, be altered to allow room for new technologies or for new ways of doing business. Before I read this next part, again, I just want to pound it home a little bit more. This has, totally different country, but again, the whole thing with Jasmine, right? So it's like their country, Japan, has, think about what's mentioned here, right? We don't grab a hold of innovation, right? At least our government doesn't. Theirs definitely do. It's like totally night and day difference. But anyway, today's commission tells entrepreneurs trying to do new things in our markets to come in and register. When entrepreneurs find they cannot, the commission dismisses the possibility of making practical adjustments to our registration framework to help entrepreneurs register, and instead rewards their good faith with an enforcement action. And it's so freaking ridiculous to see that. Like it also says, today's commission treats the notice and comment rulemaking process not as a conversation, but as a threat. I myself am an entrepreneur. A lot of us are entrepreneurs. Heck, my MBA, for crying out loud, I have an entrepreneurship emphasis. It's so sad to, I love the United States of America and so on, right? Like just as much as the next guy. But I hate the idea that if you're going to have a conversation or go back in time and talk to somebody from like the 1960s and say, how we were the first, trying to be the first in anything, the space race and all that. Well, guess what? In the year 2023, going into 2024, we're pretty much not like that anymore. And it's sad.
It is. And it's, unfortunately, we can see this. This is glaring, us right in the face, is that these government organizations, they want to encourage technology moving forward if they have some sort of control of it, right? If they're benefiting personally, then they're all about it. If they're not, and it's outside of their scope, they don't want it, right? And they're going to try to do whatever they can, just like in the crypto space, right? And they do that in every single industry out there. They need their hands in the pockets of those industries. Energy, right? That's a huge one. I mean, energy, the oil companies in this country pay for most people's campaigns, right? They're in pockets with them. They have to be, right? Banks, financial sector, Wall Street, the pharmaceutical companies, they're all of that, the big money industries run this country, and they elect people to put in power to help them make more money and take more control. And that's been going on for decades now. You can't blame one side or the other. It's quite honestly, it's our fault for voting these buffoons into office without doing any due diligence, and we only look at, do they have a D or an R after their name, and that's who I'm voting for. They don't. Most people, and I know a lot of people would say, "Oh, nope, not me." I really go through all the issues. Unfortunately, 90% don't, and they just blindly vote because that's the way their mom and dad voted, right? That's how their family votes. That's how their community votes. right? I live in a red state, so a lot of people, and even though I'm a conservative individual, I don't agree with Republicans and conservatives on everything. You know, I have disagreements with what they're doing and how they say things and the kind of, you know, actions they're taking. So we don't have a lot of that in this country, which is why we're going down the path we're going down.
Yeah, you were talking about the whole thing of control. So, you know, I thought this is a perfect, you know, time to bring this up. So before the show, or I should say maybe a few hours before the show, Mike Cornwell shared this. Shout out to Crypto Mike. And, you know, he says this is end game goal for CBDCs. And again, I just want to reiterate this. In my opinion, more people should have read the book by George Orwell called 1984. Technically, at the time or long before all this stuff, the internet, and you name it, right? You know, these modern technologies, that book was considered fiction, right? But that book, it became a reality, right?
Yes,
Orwell's
it did.
1984. I have a friend, I don't really use Facebook anymore, but he has literally on his Facebook title, it's got a banner across the screen. It says, "Make Orwell fiction again." How very true is that? So we're going to actually play this. It's a short clip. It's only 2 minutes, 18 seconds. Again, a reiteration of what Sean was talking about in regards to control. You know, we're in the United States of America. We should be, you know, embracing innovation and educating ourselves. You know, like you were talking about, like 90% of people don't do the research of who the heck they're voting for. Well, how about this? What about our government is obviously not doing the proper research, at least our elected officials, right? Maybe there's some guys behind the scenes, but they're not doing their proper research when it comes to, you know, understanding blockchain technology or distributed ledger technologies, you name it, and so on. Let's play this. It states China's all-seeing Skynet now has more than 700 million CCTV cameras, half of the world total, and it's real-time spying on all of its 1.4 billion citizens to give them a personal social credit score based on how they behave. Social credit system means ultimate control. Control the people. There's no chance for a proper, you know, democracy whatsoever. And you can be a totalitarian government from now until the end of time, basically. If you guys remember years ago, it was from Christopher Nolan's, you know, the Dark Knight trilogy. You know, Batman at one point was able to, you know, have this type of technology, and then he realized that he's just going to use it one time to defeat evil, and then he was going to, you know, remember, you destroyed it all, right? You think China is going to destroy this type of technology? Hell no, they're going to keep doing it. So let's go ahead and play this. It's actually a clip from NBC Nightly News. Let's go ahead and watch it. Smash that like button if you haven't done so already. And we'll get into a little bit more of what we have tonight for you guys. Here we go.
Everywhere she goes, Ouyang Haoyu is followed. What she buys, how she behaves, is tracked and scored to show how responsible and trustworthy she is. It's called the social credit system, and in one version now being tested, a person's reputation is scored on a scale of 350 to 950. And Haoyu, with a good score of 752, is okay with it. In fact, most people are.
It's a mechanism like pushes you to become a better citizen.
It's big data meets Big Brother, expanding how the government monitors, understands, and ultimately controls its 1.4 billion citizens. Thanks to advances in artificial intelligence and facial recognition, and a web of more than 200 million surveillance cameras.
Are people bothered by privacy concerns?
We think the lot of camera keep the safety is really good. We can accept it.
Companies are experimenting with the algorithms to help the government create the new national social credit system. The government also has pilot projects. In one, citizens are required to do hours of unpaid work to get benefits. And scores are docked for things like littering, a messy yard, gossip, even jaywalking. Video of offenders is shown on the local news. And information collectors like Zhou Aini are paid to report on their neighbors. Her quota, 10 entries a month. Like the man who carried a drunk person home. A good deed, she says. Good social credit gets rewarded with perks like cheap loans and travel deals. But a bad score means public shame and worse. Huang Huijun lost a court case and didn't pay. Now he's on a government blacklist. I can't buy airplane or train tickets, he says, and the list goes on. Being discredited makes it hard to get a job or put kids in top schools. The social credit system will go nationwide next year, and few here are willing to criticize it, something that may pose a risk itself for a bad score and the life that comes with it. Janice Mackey-Frere, NBC News, Beijing.
So there you have it. I mean, literally things that we thought were fictitious in a Hollywood movie, such as, you know, The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, and you
it's
think
going live.
Yeah, we all think this could never happen, right? You know, a decade ago, I'm sure in China they thought that could never happen. But and I say this a lot, and this is logical, right? In China, they don't have the freedoms we have here. They're not used to those things. They don't understand what the Second Amendment is, the First Amendment. They don't have those types of freedoms. So it's not a huge stretch for them, right? Now, and in this country, we also have to think that when you are in public, there is no expectation of privacy, and we have a lot of cameras, you know, everywhere also. So if you're in public now, obviously they take it a little further, but if you're in public here in the U.S., there's a good chance that you're on film. So you have to keep that in mind. And now also all they have to do is add a few more cameras, add the AI to it, you know, the face recognition and all that. In China right now, this is basically just kind of regional or state run, you know, systems like this. It's not, you know, like they were saying, it's not really a national system. They haven't implemented that yet. They're likely probably a few years away from that. And then they're probably, I don't know, maybe a couple of years, maybe by the time they can take it national, they can link that to the CBDC, the digital yuan that'll come out, and then everything pretty much will be complete. So I think they've got, you know, a couple of years, 2-3 years, and they're going to be under 100% complete control.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to show you guys just a couple more things from this. So, shout out to, you know, OJ Crypto. He says, for instance, how stupid are these people? I replied earlier. I said, well, in reality, these are the people who stayed in mainland China, aka the People's Republic of China. People who didn't want to accept this bullish fled decades ago to Taiwan, aka the Republic of China. Most people do not realize that there are two Chinas, and it is true. You'll even look it up in a basic encyclopedia, Wikipedia, whatever you want to do. I even saw you even responded to it. Coming to a country near you.
Don't think this can't happen everywhere, and it will eventually. At some point in the future, you know, some countries are going to take a lot longer than others, but it will happen. But OG Crypto, I understand why he's saying that, but again, it goes to my point. Those people don't know any different, right? It's not a big deal to them. So it's not that they're stupid. That's their life. That's just barely anything different than it was, you know, yesterday for them. So, you know, that it's the frog in boiling water scenario where it's slowly they erode your freedoms, you know, if you had any to begin with. In this country, that's how it's exactly going to happen. They're going to continually erode our freedoms until, you know, we've got that CBDC in the next couple of years. And they start using it, and then they slowly start phasing out cash like Europe is doing, where you can't, I think it was $10,000 you couldn't spend cash, and now I think it's down to 7,000 in a lot of countries and down to 1,000 in some countries, where you can't spend more than that, or, you know, it's a jailable offense.
Oh, jeez.
So that's all they got to do. That's all they got to do, right? Start limiting it here. Like, hey, you can't spend more than 10 grand cash, which you really can't anyway, because there's reporting for that. And they just whittle it down into where, like, hey, there's, you know, you've been doing it for so long. Why do you need cash? You don't need cash anymore. You just on the CBDC. That's it.
Yeah, boy.
In my lifetime.
Yeah. I'm gonna read a few more comments. Let me see where I'm at right now. I think I'm way further down. Hold on a second. Oh, I see where I'm at. It was where Salamander said no Bud Light for you. Anyway, yeah, we're way further down. All right, so you guys had some good comments, some funny ones too, right? I also want to welcome back John Giz, I should say. Didn't have a chance to welcome you earlier, as well as Crypto Puppet. Again, he says, good evening, everyone. That was a while back. So let's see here. Big Wash Dude says Dirty Gary is looking for projects with deep pockets who won't put up a legal fight. And how about this one for Coochie Boy? SEC doesn't have the budget or resources employed to fight every cryptocurrency right now. That is a good point.
No, that's why well, a couple weeks ago he asked for a huge budget extension and like hundreds of more agents for his crypto department. Not that he could sue everybody, right? I mean, that's probably not physically possible.
Right.
But he doesn't have to sue everybody. He just has to name a bunch of people in lawsuits claiming their security and then have that offending exchange settle, agree to like, okay, sorry. And now they're securities and they didn't have to go to court for it.
Coochie Boy says, or I read that one, my bad. M. Evans, welcome back. He says, thanks for the warm welcome. Or the welcome, sorry, everyone. I listen a lot, but rarely post since discovering the channel. Well, again, MMMs, thank you, just for even taking the time to post that. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Consider
changing your avatar. Something speaks more about who you are and what you're about. But I definitely remember you, especially also, I think, in the recorded video section. Here's a great guy, Patrick Collier. Your channel, ours.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a good friend to a lot of channels. I see him out there in the space for sure.
That's awesome, Patrick.
Good to see you, Patrick.
Man. Yeah, good to see you, man. How about this one? M. Evans, I usually miss the live broadcast. Okay. Yeah, some people watch the replays, but some people, prefer, obviously, the live for you can interact on the fly. Burke is back. He says the only true security is gold, silver, and ammo. And that's why, let's face it, a lot of people are still loading up. Let's see that again. Can you put that up closer to the camera? Cool, man.
That's
nice.
Oh shit. Oops, sorry.
It's okay.
That's a koala, Australian koala.
Yeah, Mike Cornwell announced he sent me a picture a few days ago of some of the things he picked up. Like he picked up a bar and some coins and
but got a whole bunch of stuff today.
Cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
All right. Magic Power says the U.S. government under Biden has zero idea about how to deal with crypto and blockchain tech. Yeah, it's a sad thing that you have to have these guys who literally show up in person and tries to kind of give them a brief overview of, the use cases of the distributed ledger technology and so on. And it's just like they're just there to make a presentation, but nobody's really soaking it in and understanding it and being like, you know what?
Yeah.
Wow.
How hard would that be though if you're a congressman or senator, right? And you got somebody and you don't know anything about crypto. And you have somebody giving you a 30-minute presentation about it. How much are you really going to understand?
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned I'm wrong about stuff all the time, and I'm in this space every day. Yeah, it can be overwhelming. So that's why I always say they always conflate the two, and they always talk about the monetary aspect of it and not the underlying blockchain technology and the things that's going to do, to modernize this world and make things better.
Well, my thing also is, they talk about, giving like foreign aid to, this country or that country and so on. Can we just have somebody that's like, you know what? Look, I realize that we only gave you like a 30-minute presentation. There's this project. It's called Stellar. Here's how they're benefiting, all these third world countries, right? Where the native currency that they have won't dramatically drop in value by going through, the traditional foreign exchange route. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it could still like hold its own. To me, I'd be like, really? That could actually save our country money, and it's a win-win. What's that all about? That's what I would be doing, but you don't hear about those stories. Or at least maybe you do, or I mean, maybe we don't hear about it. Like Mike Corn was saying, maybe there's stuff going on in the background. I hope to God there is, but we're not hearing about it.
I hope there's somebody smarter than me that's out there that's talking to these people, trying to make sense.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, let's go further down in the comments, see where we're at. Let's see where we're at. This has nothing to do with crypto, but I'm reading anyway because I like Twister, the first one. Glenn Powell taking over Bill Paxton's role in Twister 2. Yeah, it sucks that Bill Paxton passed away a few years ago.
Glenn Powell, is that the guy in Maverick? Is that one of the pilots in Maverick? I'm thinking maybe not. I'll have to look him up.
Blackwood, there are also rumors of Gary getting fired and being replaced with an executive director. No current or previous SEC members will be considered for the position. Well, that could be good, but also who's going to be that person is all I'm saying. You know, as the saying goes, like, you don't want somebody who's like chopping off the head of the snake and then getting repaired or replaced with somebody who's just as sinister or corrupt or whatever.
Well, they can put anybody they want in there. The problem is it's not going to solve the issue that there's no regulatory clarity. There are no framework, right? There's no framework for crypto to work with right now. Until Congress get off their ass and do something about that, we're going to continue to have this problem. And they'll just push that can down the road. Maybe the guy who or girl, whoever's going to be in charge of the SEC, if they happen to get this through, is crypto agnostic, and they're like, I don't really care about it, so they're not going to do anything, and we're going to be talking about this 2 years from now.
Well, can we talk? How about this? Let's talk about this for just a brief moment, okay? So a few days ago, I mentioned to these guys, I said this whole conversation of, like you mentioned, kicking the can down the road, right? So it seems like we got a lot of things going on to finally supposedly like fast track regulation. That's the big hope, I guess you could say, coming up here soon. But if we pull back, to me, that's an indicator of, oh crap, if they decide to, I guess you could say, kick the can down the road again and ignore all the recent things that happened, to me, that would trigger, whether it's small black swan events or big ones, again, right? And then that gives the excuse, okay, well, we need some of that for the clarity and all those types of things. It's like one thing happens, it leads to another that triggers another monumentous type of thing. So if we take our foot off the gas pedal, or they, I should say, do you feel as though that the next thing would be black swan events?
Well, and I'm gonna disagree with your assertion that they have their foot on the gas pedal. The only person who has their foot on the gas pedal is Gary Gensler. And if they stop him from doing anything, Congress is barely doing anything at all, right? Barely doing anything. So it's not like
so you feel like there's no fast track at all when it comes to anything legislative.
No, I don't see it. You would see working groups right now coming up with some ideas, bringing in heads of these crypto companies like Brad Garlinghouse, and sitting down with them and be like, okay, hey, let's figure out how we can write some common sense rules for the crypto space so that people know which lane they should be in and which are going to be welcome in this country and which won't. And there'll be some security framework there, and then some commodity and currency, but they would have to be willing to sit down and do that, and they're just not doing that right now.
So then again, back to my thing.
But here's
that would make black swan events to a sense.
Well, no, and again, that's where you and I differ. I think because there are no truths here, right? There's no definites. There's only
innuendo. There's a hell of a lot of coincidences, though, Sean.
Well, but this is just innuendo.
There's you get what I'm saying? But there's too many of them.
Hang on.
You line it up. You don't want to, sorry.
If they got rid of Gary, right, that we would see that as a positive, and they put somebody in who was at least neutral, and they gave an indication that they're not really looking to go after crypto, and they're gonna wait until there are some rules before they decide, who might be in violation and who might not. I think that's going to be a boom for crypto. People will be like, hey, that's good news. They're not coming after anybody right now. They're going to write some rules, and then they're going to decide, kind of where we are and do the right thing like they should have done. They should have allowed these companies who came in to talk to the SEC, hey, these are the violations that we see, right? And if you can get these corrected, then you're fine. Otherwise, you're going to have to shut down, and move yourself out of the country, right? And they could have done that. That's what they're supposed to do. But they chose not to give them any direction whatsoever. Don't tell the exchanges which ones they think are securities or not. And then as soon as they walk out the door, boom, let's file a enforcement action on them. So, and if that was all stopped and we knew that was not going to happen anymore for at least the next couple of years, I think people pile into crypto.
There's a lot of speculative coincidences. I mean, a lot of what you're saying speculative. I'm also saying there's a lot of coincidences in the timeline. I guess we
so what? Let me ask you a question. What is your, let's say, what's your biggest evidence or coincidence that we're close to some sort of regulation, some sort of agreement?
My thing is this, basically, it's like, look at last year. Look at what happened all the way up to FTX, right? So it almost seemed like every single time there was a hint of getting the ball rolling instead of just kicking the can down the street. They would they, as in, you know, our elected officials or, you know, and so on, would just basically have the attitude of, all right, we're going to have a meeting. And then you saw, what was it? I think it was like, you know, 2022, excuse me, 2021 going into 2022, you had the Senate, what was it? The Senate committee, right? They actually had some of these guys from various different crypto projects, or, you know, just educating, like we mentioned earlier, about blockchain technology. We can even pull up some of the stuff. I mean, they even, you know, feature on C-SPAN and so on. So they came in, like we said earlier, gave the 30-minute speech of, hey, I'm so-and-so. You even had Charles Hoskinson there. I don't know if you remember that. He even spoke in person. Denell Dixon of Stellar spoke in person. That one flew under the radar, though. But my point is, it was just like it was almost like it was for show. You know what I mean? But so then we had that talk, and then everyone's like, well, you know, all these other things need to be in a line. And, you know, people talking about, like, we don't have the budget to, I guess you could say, like, get things really, really going. And then all these chain reactions, in my opinion, don't shoot the messenger here, started happening from there. So, like, the last big one, obviously, was FTX. And then there was talking like, well, you know, we're going to get Congress, you know, together, and we're going to at least talk about what happened. And it was just a talk. And then from there, what was it? You know, we have a newly elected Congress. Some came back, some are brand new. There's the whole lame duck session. Like I mentioned, everybody, in reality, it's not until March until you start seeing things happening. Some people felt as though that, like, okay, with ISO 222 going live, maybe some things will happen. Then we saw briefly the depegging of you know, some of the stable coins, DAI, USDD, you know, obviously Circle, some of these other ones. But my key thing is this: every single time, just from my opinion, that there's progress forward, something, they just kind of take the foot off the gas. Like, oh, we had a few good months where nothing, you know, gargantuan like FTX happened, and we're gonna have. You get where I'm going with this, man. It's just there's a lot to it, and it's just.
I love the fact that you're such an optimist, number one, right? And I am more of a pessimist. That's just me naturally. But you're seeing, I mean, this is human nature, right? And in this country, right? Everybody, you're going to get all up in arms about something. FTX collapses, people lose a ton of money, and that's in the news for a while, and then something else happens that's outside of crypto, and everybody forgets all about FTX, and now we're, you know, school shootings and horrible, you know, things happening here and there in the war, right? There's always something next. And so until they stop and focus on one thing and actually put a group of people together in Washington that have a task of sitting down and hashing some things out, and at least bringing some rules forward to be voted on, or to be, you know, at least talked about, you know, get that discussion going, I just don't see it. I have absolutely no faith in our government. Anybody up there. There's a few people who are pro crypto in Washington, and then there are a few out there who are maybe not pro crypto, but they're pro discussion, right? They're pro, like, hey, let's make some rules. And then there's, you know, the other camp that either doesn't know, or you got the Elizabeth Warrens who are anti crypto. So it's going to be a fight, and they have to start that fight somewhere, and I just don't see it started yet.
All right. Fair enough. Okay, it's fine.
I like that we disagree on it, though.
No, it's fine. You know,
Waddy, this is not a terrarium hat. Don't insult me that way, sir.
Terrarium hat. Oh,
that's
you wore that hat for a few times. Yeah.
I wear this hat. This is a hat I wear all the time. I need to get an XRP hat is what I need to do.
Yeah, people tell me you get quiet. My thing is I like certain hats, and some hats just kind of look goofy on me. But anyway, Salamander, sorry that it's been a while to read this comment. I'll let you read it.
Do you guys think XRP has had the opportunity to settle with the SEC and therefore has to state it's a security XRP wants to settle, but doesn't want to state a security? That's 100% accurate. They've stated multiple times that they would be willing to settle if XRP was to be called not a security from this point forward, and everything in secondary market. So they're obviously, the SEC doesn't want to do that. So that leaves kind of the settlement off the table for now. But here is the positive thing that could happen. The judge can come back and say, hey guys, this is what I'm going to rule on. And then she can let them know before it comes out, right? Before the ruling's actually done. And we'll sit them down in a room and then say, hey, now that you know how I'm going to rule, do you guys want to work this out? And that gives each side, chance to go, okay, well, it looks like we're going to get screwed here and we're going to look bad. Maybe we should, figure out a way to go forward. But we don't even know if she's even going to rule on whether XRP is a security or not. The possibility is there for her to say, I'm not going to rule on that. We're going to have to push that to trial.
When you were gone,
I have good feelings about what she might rule on. Not
too.
a full win, but a partial win, at least enough to where XRP is not a security.
My thing is this: when you were gone, we showed a clip from John Deaton. I mean, who doesn't show a clip from John Deaton? But anyway, he was talking about the whole thing. He felt as though like it's going to be wrapped up probably like in 3 months. I was saying at this point, I'm still worn out with it, but I do pay attention to some of this stuff. I was like, I think it's a given it will end this year. I don't know when, but he was saying something like 3 months, right? And one of the key things that he mentioned in his interview was that, it might get to kind of like what you're mentioning, kind of like the safe face or whatever, like, you kind of see the direction they're going. So it's recently reported within the last few days that there's going to be this behind closed door meeting with Ripple, with the SEC, and so on. Nobody obviously knows what exactly that is. And that's, of course, where you're seeing all these, influencers, content creators, where you want to call us nowadays, where they're like, this thing is going to be over. I saw one guy, he's like, this is going to be over in 8 days. And that was like literally 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Who was it? BitBoy Crypto probably said that.
He was leaning towards this thing's going to be over pretty soon. So my thing is the timing.
The Jim Cramer of crypto. He's never right, ever.
I don't know about that. I think he's been around on a few. We're going to
Max, he's never right. He's never right.
I think there's something here. But how about this? All right. So recently we've been getting requests to look more into ICP. He talks about ICP a lot. I'm not talking about stupid, insane clown posse. Sorry to anybody who listens to them. I think they're garbage. There's good and bad in hip hop. They're garbage in my opinion. Sorry if anybody listens to them. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. But anyway, so he kept talking about ICP, and I'm like looking at ICP, and I'm like looking at other projects that we cover, for instance, like Jasmy, DAG. We talk about Energy Web Token every so often and so on. But my key thing is like there's something there with as far as opportunity goes with ICP. So I think he's got that one right. He has mentioned Liechtenstein Exchange, right? He's not personally invested into it. I am.
No, I'm just I'm talking overall that just the calls he makes, right? I mean, he said this thing was going to be over a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
He knew he had his inside sources and all this stuff, which was total BS. But
nobody has an inside source.
This thing can go to September, right? I think that's kind of the longest it can go, because in September, now that there's clarification, that's when, there's I guess every 6 months, or I forget the timeline, but where the open rulings that are out there for a judge are noticed by a panel of people, and it's kind of makes them look bad. So they usually try to get their rulings in before that. So and September is that time frame. So it could go to September. That's the longest. But there's so many. Everybody has a lot of opinions. It's just like I do. I have no idea what's going to happen, because there are 100 different combination variables here that could happen with the case, right? And there's so many different things that we could end up with. And the absolute worst case is, Ripple loses on every issue, and then they have to appeal, and it goes to the appellate court, and then they have to, and then it goes, and then we're into this for another 3-4 years. That's worst case, and everything in between.
Yeah, I just don't see it going more and more years personally. I just honestly think it's going to be over this year. Like,
I
don't know
so.
when, but I think it's going to be this year.
I hope so.
All right, guys, it's been a great show so far. We're just going to read a few more comments, obviously. It's not like our traditional lineup. I mean, I was saying to Sean, I was like, we got to cover this whole thing with, the SEC and whatnot. It's not the greatest news. We got to cover some of the bad, the good, right? It's not just all rainbows, unicorns, and fairy dust, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
This affects everybody in crypto. If you're in crypto, this kind of stuff affects you.
Yeah. And here's a good point from Magic Power. First, they have to set up laws to define what is security and what is not.
I mean, they do. They already have that. It was established back in the 30s, but trying to apply that law to crypto today is problematic.
Well,
it doesn't really work.
The Howey test in itself. I mean, like, can't we have something more modern?
They have to. I mean, they have to do something to address the technology, right? It's just not the same thing. And I loved how, in some comments, the SEC stated they were excusing their position on Ethereum not being a security as, oh, well, we find it decentralized, as if, being decentralized was part of the Howey test. Like they just made it up. Oh,
Probably
it's
did make it up.
decentralized. So clearly it's not a security if it's decentralized. Like, I don't think I read that in the Howey case.
Yeah. All right. Crypto Public says David kills Goliath. I read that. I said something about that a while ago. We were way behind the comments, so that's guys. David kills Goliath and cuts his head off at the end of the battle. Yep. David equals XRP. That's a good.
Hopefully,
point. Yeah. Max, you rose. What do you mean? What's he saying?
Don't know.
Okay.
Max, you rose.
That's all right.
No, don't know.
All right, GF Burke, look at what they attack. That's what you want to buy. I'm going to welcome back Jack W. Let's get this party started. Thank you very much,
Jack.
All right, let's see here. You're referring to, what is he referring to? Is he referring to an SC or Gensler addressing
Gensler's tomorrow? Yeah.
Testimony, right? Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
He's going to be sitting answering questions.
Do you know what time that's at?
I don't, but I can look it up real quick.
Oh, okay. Let me cut you off. Go ahead.
So here we get to see whether any of these in Washington have any balls. Let's say, right? Are they going to actually ask him the tough questions? Or are they going to pull a Elizabeth Warren and actually give him questions ahead of time and suggested answers?
No, jeez.
Let's see. You can go ahead and keep going down the comments.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking about something there. Anyway, Boomerang for Silver says every time I see the name Jack, it makes me think that that Biznatch Rose there was room on that. Okay, I think this is what you guys are talking about now. All right. Regards to Coochie Boy. All right, let's go further down.
10 a.m. Eastern.
10 a.m. Eastern. Oh God, 7 a.m. Okay, for me. The truth is crypto will grow up extreme and there will be trillions of dollars. And now the want to control this crypto market. They don't want, that retailer and get rich and hold coins on cold wallets. Yeah, because they can't control what's on cold wallets. That's why Elizabeth Warren was like, let's pay attention. What was it? She wanted to get one particular, like the CBDC version of a wallet, I guess, or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, you'll have one wallet in the future.
Yeah, that's not decentralization. That's just government control.
100%.
Daryl Crumble home, welcome. Let me check out your avatar, man. Hold on a second. Ah, cool, interesting, old school. Thanks for the welcome, guy. Yeah, you're very welcome. Maybe you're being sarcastic. I don't know if we did welcome you earlier, but yeah, welcome, man. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, is that old school phone with the antenna on it?
Yeah, it's like 80s
Nice.
style or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Like I never saw the second Wall Street movie, but I saw the trailer where Gordon Gekko, right? He gets out of prison and like they're giving him all his belongings before he went in, and it's that old cell phone, and it's like this a freaking big old brick with an antenna on it. Yeah,
like a big old army radio.
Yeah, it was funny. All right, I want to welcome a few more people who just came, or not just came, but just now saw. Sorry. Let's see where we're at on the comments. Hold on just a second. A whole wave of comments came in. All right, I want to welcome Nelly there. If I skipped a few comments, sorry about that. Michael Montclair is here. There's a $2 super chat from Salamander. Thank you very much. He says, watch Gensler leaves the SEC and goes work at Chase for JP Morgan, or not JP Morgan, I'm talking about for JP Morgan Chase. Yeah, absolutely. That's crazy.
Well, he could just go back to Goldman Sachs.
Would they welcome him fully? Do you think they would?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they would. Anybody would. He's got enough power. He wields enough power in that town.
Yeah. Jeez. Thank you so much, though, Salamander. Again, welcome Nelly there. Burke says Smith will be at 2K this month. Yeah, man, I think so. Yeah.
Hope so. Big goal. Actually, you know what's funny is 13 days. May 1st is my 1-year anniversary on YouTube.
Awesome, man. Very
It's been
cool.
almost a year. I can't believe how fast this year has flown by for me doing these
So-
videos. It's crazy.
You probably don't know. Tomorrow marks the 1-year anniversary of a live show every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So we're gonna
great.
try
That's
to
good.
we're gonna try to put out a memo for everybody to kind of retweet it, and our goal is to get out, like over 100 people watching. I don't know if it happens. If it happens, awesome. If it doesn't, I'm not gonna.
You gonna pull a
Right.
6-hour job this time?
No, because tomorrow also I believe is game 2 of the playoffs. So I probably here's the thing. So the game I believe starts at 7 my time. The show starts at 6 my time. So what I'll probably do is, I don't want to kill it quick because it's our 1 year. So I'll watch just part of the game, obviously the second half. I'm gonna at least go at least 2 hours or something like that with everybody here. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Because that's a special day. So
I'll be there.
Larry might even be there too. So we'll see. Well, thanks, man. I'm glad you'll be there. Big Watch says, "Hey, Max, Sean, do you think the lawsuit gets dropped if Dirty Gary is forced out of the SEC?"
No, it's in the judge's hands right now. There's really nothing to drop. There's nobody really to drop it. And I think it would look really bad for the SEC for them just to drop it all of a sudden. Be like, you know what, Gary's out, so we're out, right? Because Gary has people backing him up in the SEC. Right? He's not the only one. He's not the only. There has to be a lot of other people in the SEC that's going along with his plan. So, and it would make the whole office basically look.
I'll go with
terrible.
you on that. Yeah, I'll side in with you on that. But what I'll also state is, it's like some of these accusations towards him, that he's corrupt or whatever, right? If that gets brought up, don't you think that accelerates a win?
Well, they
for
have
Ripple?
to investigate first, right? Remember, was it just a few weeks ago where they were demanding him put out all the memos that he has and all the communications he had with SBF, for the whole FTX thing, and he hasn't done that yet. And they keep saying, "Hey, if you don't do it by this deadline, we're going to write a more stern letter next time."
That
And
has to
it's-
get brought up in the morning, man.
And nothing happens. Right? It's the way that Washington is.
Well, so again, back to what you were saying earlier, what's going to happen in the morning? Is it going to be he gets predetermined questions with, a chance to answer it, or are we going to have somebody like Lauren, Boebert, just boom, here you go.
Well, Republicans are controlling this one, so the questions are going to be more difficult, and I guarantee he's not going to know what they are. So he better bring his A game. Now, how tough they're going to be on him, I don't know. How hard are the questions going to be? Who knows? I'm sure they're not going to go as hard as we'd like them to, but hopefully they have enough ammo and enough facts, to kind of hold him to the fire. Be like, hey, we see this. This is proven. What's going on here? Like, how do you answer these questions? There's a lot of things that don't look right. What's going on in your organization? Can you explain this? Right? How was it that you sat however many times with SBF and never once looked into his actual company? Never once did any due diligence on him. Or if you did, why didn't you shut him down right then? Right? Those are tough questions that need to be asked. And he probably, I just don't see, because I don't have any faith in him, so I don't see him asking those questions. But hopefully I'm wrong.
That'd be great if somebody can actually ask him that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go further down. Let's see. Mark Williams got a good question. He says, if Ripple has a positive outcome and XRP, I gotta say it, is not a security in the second sales and retail market, what price would people be looking at to take profit? I think you already have the answers for that. So
yeah, well, yeah, if you want certain price, obviously it's going to depend on, how much you have and what your goals are. I already have a predetermined set, and my first sale isn't until $10. And I have a bag, I'll sell at $10. Take that profit, probably just move it into something else. And then, it goes up from there. Maybe $25 might be the next mark, and then kind of go on. So, but keep in mind, if you're holding multiple different cryptos, if XRP is going up like that, you can pretty much guarantee that a lot of the crypto is going to be moving pretty good. XRP may be leading the charge, but if you're holding Ethereum, Bitcoin, and other things, those things will be moving as well.
So with that said, if XRP is at $10 and you're taking profits like you just mentioned, what would you see Bitcoin?
Like where's XLM going to be? Right, they usually move in tandem. I mean,
Well-
I got a lot of XLM.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you think XLM would be if XRP is at $10?
Well, I'm just no, I get what you're saying, but my thing is, I don't know if that was
Yeah, and it's going to be
a
right, it's going to
rhetorical
be up there.
question, but-
It's going to be to a point to where you might want to take profits in some of those other things as well, because it's not going to go up forever. Something's going to happen. It's going to turn around and retrace, and be prepared for that. Just have a plan and execute that plan, and don't go on feelings and I think this time is different. Don't ever say that to yourself, because it's never different.
I don't know if I'm selling my
take your
XRP at $10, to be honest. Because I mean, that's, again, I was telling these guys, and it's not financial advice. This is just what I'm personally doing. So it's like, what is it, like Salamander, right? He's made it public. So this is not, me revealing something that should be revealed. So he's got clearly over 1.5 million XTC, right? So, for a lot of us, like, some of our goals is $10 in XTC, $20 in XTC, depending on like how much you hold it. But for somebody like himself, by having that amount, that like alleviates so much pressure on him to hit like goals that the next guy's trying to get, right, with 1.5 million. So all I'm saying is, like, if I'm well diversified into, which I am, and roughly about 47 to 50 different crypto projects, right? And a good amount of those, at least, I don't know, 65, 75% of those are like some solid projects, not just meme tokens and so on.
Right.
So for me, it's like, I'm going to take profits off of, like the likes of Filecoin or Audio or the Graph and things like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think those are good, great stand-up projects and so on. I'd rather take profits off the top of those, especially if those hit new all-time highs, than taking profits off of my XRP or my quant, because for me, that's a different category. I always say, like, don't marry a crypto, but there might be exceptions. And like I was mentioning, I think XRP could be the exception. XLM, quant, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you, and that totally makes sense. And just like you said, it depends on your situation. I don't hold 25 or 30 different cryptos. I don't. Mine are very concentrated into a few. So I have XTC, XLM, XRP. I have Quant. I have some Algorand. I'd have to look at my list, but and a couple more, and that's it. So for me to sell, and you got to think also, I'm not in the camp that thinks that XRP, I'm going to be leasing my XRP back to the banks, or the government's going to buy XRP for me for $10,000 a coin. I don't live in that world. I'm in a world
you're not going
where
to be a guest star on Crypto Lulu anytime soon.
Probably not. Probably
because he mentions that a lot. You know what I mean?
He does, and it's fine. And you're right. We all have different opinions, and I mean, geez, I hope he's right. Right? I mean, that's only better for me if he's right. But I'm not going to hold. I mean, I'm always going to have a bag of XRP, but I have enough to where if I sold, 5,000 XRP at $10, that's $50,000 in my pocket, that I can actually do something with. Right. And then that's, let's just say that's 10% of my XRP, I have a lot more to hang on to and wait for further price action. And I also have a lot of XLM. I would be taking profits on that as well.
No, at least you see where I'm coming from. Okay.
Oh, I do. Yeah. And if I had 20 or 30 different and everything was kind of moving up, yeah, I'm going to take those lesser known, projects and take that money and move on and maybe buy more XRP. Depends on where the price is, but that's not the world I'm living in right now.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm going to refresh the other side of the screen just to see where we're at. Make sure I didn't miss anything because I was a little late on the last super chat. All right, so we're going to try to fast track through a lot of these so we don't really quite go over the 2 hours. Let's see if I accomplish this tonight, Mr. Sean. All right, let's see here. So Kev Cleveland says, facts. Welcome again, Kev Cleveland. Good to see you, man. Marvin Davis, also welcome back. He says, sup, Max. Got my buddy Shane sitting next to me trying to learn. Let him, no ISO XRP is real. All right. Well, shout out to your friend, your buddy Shane. All right. Let's see here. Burke says that's why he wasn't supposed to win. They fixed that. Crypto Jedi, welcome. Always good to see you. Give Crypto Jedi a subscription over at the Crypto Jedi.
Yeah. Welcome.
Brian Dowie says, Mark, I believe that's just a start not long after the lawsuit ends. Larry says, smash that like button. Thank you for that. Larry? All right.
Yeah, Larry. Hope to see you soon, bud.
Yes, I read Animal Farm and 1984. Right on. Yeah, two great books. I think a lot of us read Animal Farm back in school when we went.
It's an oldie.
Yeah, it is. The Disabled Machine, what's going on, Max and CTNers? Hello. Yeah, we're just kind of talking about some of the things that happened recently with the SEC going out to Algorand and Dash and a few other projects. Not like your typical show where we just do like boom, 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 boom. Here's everything tag news, WrestleMania. Not like that. All right, let's go further down. Disabled Machine says he's got some Jasmine and Casper going strong. Cool stuff, man. Very cool. April Cornwell, welcome. And she says, hey, everyone. Glad to have you. Let's see. All right. Okay, that's not towards us. Heath over Ledger Lee. Can you link this video, Max? Which video? Was it the one for Gangsler?
I think that was the Chinese social credit score video.
Oh yeah, you can't link those ones. Like I could drop maybe I could drop the link to Twitter if you want that. Let me see that. I could do that. Hold on a second. Yeah, I could definitely do that. I could drop that in the comments. Hold on. There we go. There it is. All right. Welcome to Stevie. I still say is the coolest looking avatar in all of crypto.
That's damn cool. Yeah, I like that.
That's pretty cool. Wayne Sides here. He's like, "Sup, Max and Sean? Surf's up, man. Yeah.
Surf's up, bro. What's going on?
Yeah.
SoCal in the house.
That's right. There's Ahmed. But he's got probably my second most favorite avatar. There's always that guy. Let's face it. When the 2024 election comes up, Sean, there's always going to be that one guy who's like, "Oh, I voted." It's like, well, what do you want, a cookie? I mean, what do you want me to do about it? You know what I mean?
Wow.
Really, I always picture that
you're
kid
the
like,
one.
Like, give me some milk and cookie. Yeah. It's like everybody should technically do that, but here's your cookie anyway.
And yes, I do believe everything I see on the news exclusively. I don't do any of my own thinking at all. I find it's easier that way.
That's why he has that face. All right. All right. How about this? The Disabled Machine. The XRP is everywhere. Watch Crypto Holt, dude. Face that facts with the X's. Yeah, he's on a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. I saw today. That's pretty cool. All right. Let's see. We're at Idaho will be the last fighting ground.
Could be.
With that, but there's some other states that are. All right. Eddie T's in the house. Thank you for being here, Mr. Eddie T. He says, "Smash that like." Always appreciate you, Eddie T. Let me see here, Ahmed. So, hold on. Sounds like a sad live streaming today. What's going on, guys? Let China do whatever to their people, and come on, who cares? Ahmed says, "Sounds like okay." He says the same thing. I mean,
the problem with that is that we don't have a choice, but that is a foreshadowing, things to come for other countries.
Yeah. Salamander says, "I had 150 in fives at the store, and the cashier was, wow, man, I never see customers with that much cash." I said, "It's only $150, sir."
That's weird. Cash is used a lot less. I mean, I think, a lot of people just use a debit card because it's easier. But, it's some people still love it. Some people are going to, go out kicking and screaming before they give up their cash.
Yeah.
But guess what? I paid for all my silver with cash money.
That's right. Disabled Machine says, "Ahmed, China has the biggest army. That's why we /me cares." And on top of that, the recent report from 60 Minutes from a few weeks back, they also have the world's largest navy now. Hold on, facts. All right. Let's see here. Brain God, bless Hulk. I think overall, like I mentioned, I mean, he might bash somebody like myself or, Iceberg Smith here and so on. But I mean, for the greater good, he's a pretty good guy. Salamander says silver should have a higher price due to its utility. Almost everything has silver.
I agree. It is suppressed.
Hey, there's Waddy. He says, "What's up, gentlemen? Good to see you, Waddy. From a long time ago, 714. My God, way behind on that one." Ahmed says, "Waddy, the crypto hunter. Did you make Veracity video earlier?" That's a good question. Robert Sims is here. He says, "We are not China. Digital currency bill of rights. Why aren't people talking about this?" Do you want to answer that?
No, I have to go and read it again, but it doesn't. Whatever they have out right now can always be changed, and it will be changed. Right? They're going to make it. I know we have some states here who are going to try to say, "Oh, we're going to try to outlaw the CBDC," but you're not going to be able to. Right? At some point, it's going to come out. It's going to be the currency. If the dollar is no longer the world reserve currency, and the U.S. has to make a change to try to get some of that power back, guess what? You're going to do whatever it is they tell you you're going to do. That's the problem. That's what nobody wants. I don't want a CBDC. I think it's just more control, but we're running that direction. So don't figure out how you think you're going to stop the government from implementing that in your life, but how can you benefit from it?
Good points. All right, let's see here. Mr. Muff. Do you know about him now? You know who that is?
No, who's that?
You don't know who that? Just take a guess.
Elon Musk?
No, I mean, he's obviously a CTM member. Let's see if you can guess who that is.
Elon Musk.
Look right into the camera. Hold on. Look right into the camera.
Yeah.
All right. And say who you think it is. Come on, you gotta look in the camera though.
Is it Larry?
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
Is Elon Muff Larry?
Who's Elon Musk? I have no
First
clue.
of all, Larry would never comment that much. No offense, Larry. And he would not have Elon Musk, especially if his policy here is like no cussing, right? No profanity.
Oh yeah, okay.
So come on, that's
considering
epic.
Musk.
That's an epic fail there, sir. No offense.
All right.
So definitely not Larry. God.
Failed. Who is it?
It's Michael Cornwell.
Oh, yeah. No, I would have never guessed that.
What?
Although I don't see his name anywhere.
What? You would not have guessed that was Michael Cornwell?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't recall the changeover.
I immediately knew it was Mike Cornwell. Maybe it's a just difference because he's on here all the time, and
Yeah, you've been talking to him a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, but when he came on with that Elon Musk, I was like, man, that's Mike Cornwell. That is totally him. I knew it was him, and it was. Anyway.
Nice.
Elon Musk said, "See, if the whistleblowers aren't enough proof, then what will be?" Yeah, that's a good point. I want to welcome back Yamaha Pacifica. Hester Pierce may be the next chairman president for the SEC. All right, let's go further down.
Would be good. That would be good. That would be a good call.
Going to read this as well. He says, Robert Sims says he's a service tech for an AV company. The level of technical illiteracy, even to watch anything on a television, is downright scary. And we expect politicians to understand new tech, not red or blue. That's a good point. You make a good point. But if anything, it's like if your agenda, if you were the Elizabeth Warrens of the world and so on, your agenda is to form a coalition of anti-crypto people, then you have to give us a reason why you're so anti-crypto. That's my key takeaway, right? I mean, if anybody's going to have a proper debate about anything, then you have to give a good, objectionable reason for that. It can't just be like, well, to prevent the collapses of FTX and stuff like that. FTX has nothing to do with the problem. There's sinister people. That'd be like, hey, let's get rid of stocks because Bernie Madoff, did so bad. He's a horrible person. Like that wouldn't make any sense either.
Yeah. Well, and their only answer ever is, well, we want to protect, the retail investor from getting wrecked in these projects. But you can't do that about everything, especially when you have no rules written out there. Right? You can't just say we're going to ban an entire asset class because, I don't like it, I don't understand it, and somebody might lose some money in it.
Yeah. Here's a comment from Wayne's side. At the same time, the stops raising interest rates and the Ripple case gets positively resolved. We all take off. Surf's up.
Surf would be up. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know about the stop raising interest rates, but I don't know if we're there yet.
I always love when Wayne Side comments because he always has the surf's up thing. It's so cool. Anyway. Achman says, I'm not with you, Burke. Elon Musk says, AI Doge. Interesting. Wayne Size says, when the Fed stops raising interest rates and the Ripple case gets resolved. I already said that. All right. Stargazer, I like crypto Casey, but hot she's not. Huh. All right, you guys got some interesting comments. Blackwood says, a man selling oranges and having over 200 bank accounts is not a smart way to determine security. Not
True.
then, and sure as hell not now. Blackwood does not mess around with his comments.
No, he doesn't.
He never does.
Straight to it.
Yeah, he is. Crypto Jedi, I'm looking at taking advantage of the Jasmine dip as the price is going down. That's a good point. Let's take a moment just real quick to see where that's at, and then we got to really rapid fire through all this stuff. Jasmine. Okay. Well, maybe it's starting to go there. It's basically at 0.006571. Okay.
It's not doing bad.
Yeah. Joseph Romuno says, hey, hello. Yes. Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Consider changing your avatar. Something speaks about who you are and what you're about. And let's see here. I think I'm gonna go further down. Oh God, I was late to the party again. 7:36 p.m. It is now. Okay, I'm not too far. 20 minutes ago. He says, "Watch, guys. Equals crypto will go way high tomorrow after Gensler in the Senate hearings. Buy crypto today." That's a good point. I thought about that. It could happen.
Maybe.
Yeah. And especially if you hear or see Mr. What's his face from Mad Money, Kramer, basically saying that everything's going to go, it's just going to crash, right?
Yeah, if he says sell, you better start buying.
All right, Salamander. But thank you, Salamander, for $5 super chat, and the other one from earlier. Appreciate you, man. Salamander also says, how does the SEC not know SBF was using QuickBooks for all his investments? SEC did not do any audits. Excuse me. On SBF, look what happened with Madoff. Yeah,
that's in question. And I can say that they met several times, and Gary never looked into their operation, but maybe that's not true. Maybe he knew exactly what they were doing. Right? We ever thought about that?
Yeah.
Maybe he knew exactly what was going on, and he was, because they were working together to try to put together some sort of legislation against exchanges, and that was going to give FTX preferential treatment.
You're right, and that's why Sam Bankman-Fried didn't just pay one political party, right? He paid both.
He paid everybody.
Right?
Yeah, anybody he could, he was paying. Probably Gary
point
as well.
You brought that up. That's a good point. Crypto Jedi says SEC has no oversight. SEC doesn't answer to anyone. That's why they're out of control with the overreach of power. Yeah, they have too much power.
They do. They are actually sitting in front of the oversight committee tomorrow, but the oversight committee is not doing their job. That's the problem.
So who oversees the oversight?
Well, supposedly the way this country's set up, that we do.
Yeah, and look how that worked.
Yeah, we're not doing a very good job.
Yeah. All right. Salamander says 1.5 million XTC, baby. $1, baby. I'm not. See, again, just so much less pressure on Salamander, with that,
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe he's got, that much invested into, many different cryptocurrencies. Who knows?
He has a few different ones. He's got Quant. I think you're also an XRP, right, Sal? Some other ones.
So yeah, it'd be nice. I'd love to be sitting on 1.5 million XRP right now.
Oh man. You got Diamond hand that to 10,000 XRP. You'd be the richest man in the world.
In the world. In the galaxy.
Yeah. There will be no exchange. So we'll actually give you that in return. I'm kidding. That's bad. All right. Salamander, they are not to use. Okay. I think we mentioned some of this earlier. Scrolling down, I'm gonna read this from Burke. Did I skip? Well, Rayan says this is good tonight. I want to skip yours, Rand. My bad. Burke, I just want to hear what other financial charting you use over a certain amount. Never heard of it. Just curious.
Not sure what that means. What do you mean? Charting used over a certain amount? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't use charts. Charts are for wimps. I go on gut feeling alone. I'm joking, of course.
I was like, what the heck? Heath over Ledgerly. Oh man, there's a 2-hour mark. We're over it. We'll try to really get this. Can't wait
I'm
for
out.
All right, bye. All right, hold on a second. Can't wait to be pleasantly surprised with the long-term XDC gains. All right, hold on a second.
Hopefully, yeah. You and me both.
Let me see if there's like a big wave of stuff that came in. Mr. Lambos Crypto Talk, welcome. Asuka 129 LCX is looking better and better every time I see what price it's at. He thinks it'll be the next bag he'll get. Oh, okay, cool stuff. Welcome back. I remember your avatar. All right, let's see here. Damn, but you deleted the comment. All right, Muff states Salamander only charges $5 for lap dances, but he doesn't use his XDC for that. Heath states, okay, hold on a second. I'm just gonna see if you guys got anything specific. GS, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, GS. Good to see you.
All right. Here's one. Big watch, dude. Hey, Max, I remember back in the early days of your channel, you guys had Michael Cornwell on live. Then Larry rugged, and Michael was only left carrying the show for several minutes. Yeah, you know what? That was one of our biggest shows, actually. That show that he was a guest. Yeah, there was a lot of viewers on that one. All right, hold on. Just giving some heads up on some of this stuff. I want to welcome Mentalect. Thank you for being here. Hello, is it Mentalect you're looking for? Lionel Richie. Yes, I had to say it. All right. I think we're just all right. We're maybe a couple more. Elon Musk says that's what the World Economic Forum wants is the power to say who regulates countries. They say them choose people's control of the world. Okay. All right. I think that's about going to wrap it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a plug for Crypto Smith. Oh, I'm going to read this real quick. Ever Vincent, thank you. He says, Utility Talk Now starts the week off good. Happy Monday, everyone. And Woot times 55. Thank you. Glad to have you here, Edward. Give Edward a follow over at Top Shelf Crypto on Rumble, everybody. All right. So let's go ahead and give Sean a plug. So, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, you can follow all our creators over at ctnnetwork.net after you make a free account. And if you scroll down, here's Sean the Crypto Smith. Click on his channel, comes up right here, and he's at 1.92K. We'll have to do like some kind of celebration for you at 2K. That's a big, big leap for you. Big milestone. Yeah, man. Here's some of his recent videos. Obviously, MMAI, Metropolitans. He was talking about some of these other things like the Independent National Convention on Blockchain. Tacit. I still need to review that one. I do want to watch that. Obviously, the Cypherium FUD that happened. He talks about XRP, Casper. Man, you should do another video on Jasmine at some point, man. 4.8.
I was just looking at that today. That's actually on my list to do. I told you I was going to start paring the size of the content down, I guess, all the different options and kind of stick to 4 or 5 and just do more in-depth stuff like that instead of, I need to up my game a little bit on YouTube. And because I usually just do like a broad overview of these projects, I need to start getting a little bit deeper.
Right. You want to talk about what might be coming up? Are you going to do the straight talk on Saturday?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll do the straight talk on Saturday. Hopefully we'll get some people in there. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to do probably maybe a little bit of silver and gold talk. And then obviously I usually just go on what the topics of the week are, anything important happening. And you'll see another Jasmine video coming out here pretty soon, and XRP.
Cool stuff. Yeah, I'm going to do a deep dive on something recent I found out in regards to Jasmine. That's not really making mainstream news, but I thought I would share it. I don't know if I do it tonight, but I'll do it pretty soon. But I guess I'll ask or answer this question. River says, what do you guys think about X Swap? We covered that quite a few times. To me, it seems like it's going to be a good project, or it currently is. When we get more into that, bull run, I think it's definitely going to stand out because it's kind of like the concept of pancake swap for XDC, right? So, dApps are really, really going to stand out, in my opinion, by the end of this year. That simply makes sense when we talk about utility being used. that's where it's at with a lot of these dApps, right? Being able to, go into some of these things, whether you're staking or you're doing yield farming, or I don't know, there's so many different things that some of these dApps offer. But I don't own any XSP, but it has been on my list of maybe eventually getting into it. Do I pick that over GBAX? I think it's kind of like a tie for me. But anyway.
Yeah, and what's gonna? I mean, you're gonna get a lot of these kind of, dedicated type swaps, and what's gonna make it better? Like, why is it better than something else, or is it's just on a different, blockchain?
Right. Well, guys, it's been a great show. I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to give Sean the last words. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, I really appreciate coming back. I mean, it has been, it seems like forever, but it's only been a week. I had fun. I really appreciate everybody in the comments. It's always a great time. Max, thank you for having me on and doing this together. I look forward to Wednesday.
Me too, man. And if anything, we'll try to find something juicy for you guys. I know that today, sometimes people don't like us to cover like some of the negative aspects. Shout out to Grizzly Bear Greg. He's not here right now, but I think yesterday he's like, why aren't you covering the whole bad news about, quant, because there was that one particular hack and there was like Shiba Inu and it was like Bittrex or whatever.
Right.
Or not Bittrex, it was a different one. Bybit or Bitrue. I always get those mixed up. And he's like, why is she covering that? But, it's like we covered that for like 5 minutes, like a few days ago. But yeah, we do cover the good, the bad. So with that said, guys, as the saying goes, know what you have, know what you hold, and know why you hold it. You've done the research. Just stay the course. Not financial advice, but that's the way I'm personally doing it.
Amen.
Crypto could be an emotional roller coaster.
Don't be emotional about it. Have a plan.
Yeah, have a plan.
Have a plan.
So here's the plan right now. We're going to end this show. Thanks again, everybody. Magic Power, GS, Big Watch Dude, Burke, all you guys. Really appreciate it. XXI, Coochie Boy, Brittany, you name it. We have an awesome community here. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the 1-year anniversary of the live show, Crypto Talk Now. And all we ask is I'll put a notice maybe out later tonight. Try to retweet it. If you're not into social media, try to even text it to your friend, whatever the case be. Our goal is to get 100 here tomorrow or more on the big 1-year anniversary. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. We look forward to seeing you here tomorrow again for Crypto Talk Now. On behalf of myself, Larry, Sean, and the rest of the CTN network community, have a great night, everybody. Adios.
All right. Good night, everyone.